In the headlines, Dominica ranks among the top 4 tourist destinations in the world. Family and friends remember a 17-year-old whose life was snatched in an accident Wednesday night, and the first ever cohort of fire marshals graduate. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this. Topping the news, Dominica is ranked as a top destination to visit for 2017. Lonely Planet, the world's largest travel guidebook publisher, considers Dominica among 10 countries visitors can't afford to miss. Dominica is number 4 on the list, which features Canada, Colombia, and Finland before it. Moving down the list, there's Nepal, Bermuda, Mongolia, Oman, Myanmar, and Ethiopia. Dominica is the only country in the Caribbean making that list. A Lonely Planet writer who explored the country is encouraging a visit to the island before it gets its first large-scale chain resorts in 2018, which will pave the way for a new era of tourism. Her article promotes top tourist sites one can visit, places one can go to take a night lime, and certain eating spots. In other news now, a first-year college student has lost her life in a vehicular crash during her favorite festive season. Idona John Baptist has that story.
This independent season will not be the culturally stimulating period the honorees of Portsmouth have enjoyed as they mourn the death of their daughter, Lana Honoree. The 17-year-old died when the vehicle she was traveling in crashed into a concrete base of a solar lamp pole at Hillsborough Estate in this area on Wednesday night. Police say the Toyota RAV was being driven by Josiah Joseph of Bourne. Darius and Sonelia Bella of Cottage were the other passengers. They have been admitted to the Princess Margaret Hospital, while Josiah Joseph was discharged the same night. Lana's brother, Loic, told Channel 5 News she was on her way home at the time of the incident.
She was a well-rounded young lady. In culture, sports, academically, just name it, and she excelled in all these aspects, despite it may sound so much. And she also danced for one of the groups in Portsmouth. I think she did quadrille, and she participated some years back. I know since she went to college, I guess it was a little too much, but she did quadrille and she loved culture a lot. Performed at the cultural galas and etc.
Lana also danced flirtation and waltz.
Her favorite season, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, I would say, because she even questioned my mother why this year she wasn't put in any one of the dances. So, but mothers always think best, and mommy thought that it would have been a little too much for her with her college work. Just graduated from SGA Academy with this was the valedictorian, and the awards and trophies and stuff she gets, I just cannot count.
Her former cultural dance coach and teacher, Nabi Wallace, spoke to Channel 5 News from Curaçao about Lana's achievements.
First, I had the opportunity to work with Lana in the National Under-13 netball team, and it was there that I saw the ability of this young lady in netball, and I started to work with her. But her cradling steps in netball was really founded by Mrs. Farrell and Cynthia Joseph when she was at the St. John's Primary School and as well as at the Portsmouth Secondary School. From there, she transferred across to the St. John's Academy, where I got the opportunity to work with her even more in the field of netball, culture, and I even persuaded her to try out track and field. Very bright young lady, very beautiful heart. Most times we see persons looking beautiful on the outside, but Lana had it both ways. She was beautiful on the outside and the inside.
The first ever cohort of fire marshals graduated Thursday. Andrea Louis has more.
19 individuals attended a training course spanning 3 weeks to graduate with the certification of Fire Marshal. A Fire Marshal is the one charged with enforcing fire-related laws in the workplace. Fire Chief Josiah Dupee reminded the graduates that they must be thorough, reliable, and disciplined to ensure a safe workplace.
You, first would do well to try to anticipate what are some of the problems that we are likely to encounter. That's where we talk about your risk analysis. and trying to reduce the risk. So you need to have a certain awareness of what is likely to happen based on the activity in your workplace or in a particular area. I consider you to be pioneers, really, at your workplace, pioneers in Dominica, as persons who can now declare themselves as fire marshals. It is a very, very serious undertaking.
The Occupational Safety Hazard OSH Institute of Dominica organized the Fire Marshal Workshop, which was hosted in collaboration with the Employers Federation.
It is a training program that will subject its participants to critical academic and practical experience in how to contain a fire, but even more so, how to prevent a fire, how to spot areas that are likely that a fire may start, how to reduce the vulnerability, how to look at hazards and risk assessments, how to look at our typical home setting, and how we can come up with a regime and an awareness that will ensure the continuity of business.
Joseph noted that many business places have no plan in place should their building be destroyed by fire, and for this reason, it is extremely important to have certified fire marshals on hand. The fire marshal certification is valid for 3 years, after which the marshal will have to be recertified. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
No arrest yet in a matter in which firearms and ammunition were found in a barrel shipment from the U.S. last month.
It's been almost a month since 12 illegal firearms were discovered in a barrel containing groceries. The barrel remained on the port for 2 days unclaimed and was searched by police on September 30 in the presence of customs and port officers. Deputy Police Chief Davidson Valerie would only inform the media on Wednesday that investigations were ongoing.
The police, I can tell you, has been doing investigations in the matter. And when the time is right, the police will give further details into the investigations. We will do all that we can, all in our might, to ensure that if we have situations of that nature, that it is investigated to the best of the police ability. We'll utilize whatever resources we have, as we have done in the past, to ensure that persons who are found committing those offenses, or the perpetrators of those laws, will be brought to justice.
An M60 machine gun was part of the discovery. Police are not reporting which part of the U.S. the barrel came from. According to Police Chief Daniel Carbon, they know who they are looking for, and people have been questioned. However, Deputy Chief Valerie could not say whether anyone has been arrested so far.
Coming up, Market Day with a Difference making a comeback. We'll tell you what you can expect on Saturday. Thanks for staying with us. No Carnival cruise ships on the cruise ship schedule for Dominica this cruise season. Idona John Baptist has that story.
When a Carnival cruise ship calls on the island, it's normally a big deal for tourism authorities and service providers. And that's well justified, since the Miami-based cruise line is one of the world's largest cruise companies. Carnival is not expected to be among the 171 cruise calls throughout October to April 2017. Carnival, however, will visit the island for the 2018 cruise season. Dominica is on Carnival's schedule for a 14-day Southern Caribbean cruise from January 7 to January 21, 2018. Notwithstanding, Dominica will welcome some larger ships, including the MV Norwegian Breakaway. It has a passenger capacity of 4,941 and will bring the most cruise tourists to the island for the 2016-2017 season. The MV Norwegian Gem is the second largest ship on the cruise schedule, with a capacity of 4,080 passengers. The next ship to Dominica will dock on November 2nd, a day before Independence Day. That's the MV Britannia with 3,647 passengers. 2 cruise ships will be here on November 3rd, one at Woodbridge Bay, the other at the Roseau cruise ship berth. The MV Celebrity Summit was the first ship to arrive for the cruise season on Wednesday. Idona John Baptist, Channel 5 News.
Visiting and returning Dominicans gathered at the Prevost Cinema Thursday for a meeting with the UWP executive and the media. Issues addressed there included social, economic, and other concerns. The opposition leader criticized sections of the media for the way in which aspects of the last meeting of Parliament was covered. Mr. Linton believes a key point reporters missed when he was last escorted out of Parliament was that the rules make provision for the Sergeant-at-Arms to get involved only if he refuses to leave.
So at no point in the proceedings has she asked me to withdraw, and I refuse to withdraw. She goes straight to the Sergeant-at-Arms to come in violation of the rules. There is work to be done. There is conscientious, honest work to be done in the public interest of Dominica.
As far as independence activities are concerned, Mr. Linton believes he should be invited to speak at one of the many scheduled events.
We are going through a number of events that you consider to be state events. You know, there is not one single one of those events where the parliamentary opposition has been invited to say a single word. And people like you in the media need to get to the point where you start looking at those things critically and asking the government, hello, this is not your Labour Party event. This is a state event. Where is the parliamentary opposition representation in this?
In other news, approximately 1 year after government initiated its tablet program in secondary schools around the island, it is being described as having met its target. The Minister for Telecommunications told Channel 5 News the program was introduced to boost students' research capabilities and help improve their academic performance.
The government of Dominica, when we implemented the tablet program at every high school and the state college, it was meant to really increase the research needs of our children at these institutions. I believe the program has gone on very well. What we've seen is a number of students from across the country. They've had the opportunity to utilize the tools that we've given them to enhance their educational development and their educational drive. Before this program was implemented, a number of students, they were left behind simply because their parents couldn't afford to give them a tablet. But we were able, through this program, to provide every single child at every high school and the state college with a tool in their hands that they could do requisite research and so forth.
The next step is to improve connectivity among schools in order for the students and staff to fully benefit from the use of information communication technologies.
I believe moving forward, one of the things that we are currently working on, and we are doing it in tandem with the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, is to continue to enhance the broadband at the secondary schools. Some of the schools already have, and now we are putting a proposal together so we can increase on the broadband at the schools. So the students, with the use of these tools, they can have full access while on the school compound.
Despite the emphasis on secondary and tertiary level institutions, Daru says early introduction to ICTs at the primary level is high on government's agenda, and talks are underway to introduce broadband to these institutions.
It is something that we have discussed, but we have not confirmed anything. If needs be, at some point in time, the government may look at it. But for now, we have not confirmed anything for the primary schools. However, we have in place at some of our primary schools computer labs that the students they can utilize in the meantime. So we are moving forward in the area of technology as well.
The one tablet per child policy was a campaign promise of the Labour Party administration in 2014 and was kept in October 2015. And the annual Market Day with a Difference is promising to come back bigger, better, and with a bang this Saturday. Superintendent of the Roseau Market says while Tropical Storm Erica downgraded Independence celebration on an island-wide scale last year, things are well underway for a spectacular Market Day with a Difference come 29th October.
Last year, whilst we did not have an official Market Day with a Difference, there were no prizes and awards given and no official ceremony, etc. However, I must confess that I was very much impressed with the kind of impromptu activities taking place. This year will be grander than last year. There will be an opening ceremony, there will be special displays and special focus on on specific products. I'm still of the view that this year what is going to be different is going to be upgraded somehow. I was so impressed with the effort last year, despite the challenges, amidst the challenges of last year.
The opening ceremony, which starts at 8, will also be tweaked upon the request of the patrons and vendors.
we will only be having an address, well, after the prayer by Bishop Gabriel Mazet, the national anthem first, then prayer by Bishop Gabriel Mazet, an address by the Minister of Gender Affairs of Social Services, and Minister Ian Douglas, who is our minister, the Minister of Trade. It is shortened. It has been shortened based on the request of vendors as well as persons who visit the Roseau Market. The ceremony seems to have taken up more out of the whole event. And one of the reasons for Market Day for Difference from the initial stages, which was an activity established by the Ministry of Social Services, was to ensure that some of the government officials who do not regularly visit the market would have an opportunity to visit the market and interact with the vendors and shoppers at the Roseau Market.
This year's Market Day with a Difference will place special emphasis on a particular agricultural crop in order to sensitize the public on the versatility of this produce.
The XCF for the Fresh Produce Park House will be putting on show plantains in different forms, where you'll be having fresh plantains, green plantains, ripe plantains, and various dishes and products made out of plantain. So it is an attempt to create greater awareness as to the various uses, the various usage of plantains. Plantain is one of the products, agricultural products grown on a large scale, and it is important as we work to feed the nation that we understand that plantain can be used in various ways.
Among the prizes that will be distributed on Saturday are Youngest Vendor, Best Dressed Vendor, Best Decorated Stall, and Best Mobile Vendor. That's news. Your sports highlights is next. In cricket, the West Indies team got their second win against Sri Lanka A in their second unofficial test match on Thursday. West Indies batted first and scored 347 for 9. Kyle Hope knocked 107 to help put the West Indies in a comfortable position to win the match by 109 runs. Chadwick Walton added 70, Asad Fuddin 57, and Rovman Powell 52. Set 348 to win, the Sri Lankan side folded for 238. Shihan Jayusaria made 119 and C. Asalanka 44. West Indies now leads the three-match series 2-0. Meantime, the West Indies women have recalled all-rounder Shadeen Nation to the squad after a gap of nearly 7 years for the ODIs and T20s carried for India in November. The team also recalled wicket-keeper batsman Kissia Knight and medium-pace Shakira Selman to join the squad. Nation last played international cricket in November 2009 against England at home in both ODIs and T20s. Knight and Selman were part of the World T20 winning squad this year. West Indies will play 3 T20s after 3 ODIs, which will count towards the ICC Women's Championship in India. The first ODI will start on November 10 and the last T20 on November 22. West Indies are currently placed third with 22 points in the Women's Championship table and India 6th with 13. The Windies squad reads Stephanie Taylor, Anissa Mohammed, Marissa Aguilera, Shemaine Campbell, Samilia Cornell, Brittany Cooper, Deandra Dottin, Afi Fletcher, Kissia Knight, Haley Matthews, Shadeen Nation, Shaquana Quinton, Shakira Selman, and Tremaine Smart. Sports continues with football, where Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers top the points table with 19 and Exodus FC closely contending with 18 as round 1 of the DFA Flow Premier League wrapped up. All teams have completed their allotment of games ahead of the independent celebratory break. Bombers have 6 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. Next, we have Exodus winning 6 games and 3 losses. 3 teams are tied on 16 points. However, defending champion Central Cooperative Credit Union Dublin Football Club has a better goal difference and is in 3rd place. The other teams tied at 16 points are Sagiko Southeast in 4th place and Bath Estate Football Club 5th. All three teams have 5 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. Next is Caribbean Cooler Harlem United on 14 points with 4 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. Petro Caribbean Point Michelle is 7th with 13 points, having 4 wins, 4 losses, and a draw. Middleham United has 11 points after 3 wins, 4 losses, and 2 draws. Waukee Rollers has 7 points, including 2 wins, 6 losses, and a draw. Finally, RIC Kensborough occupies the cellar position, having lost all matches played. Meantime, the 2016 Flow Premier League continues on the weekend of November 11, while the DFA Division 1 League will commence on the week of November 14. All clubs are expected to register for the Division 1 League. Back with more cricket, we can tell you that Dean Edgar, Faf du Plessis, and Quinton de Kock had the hot hand for South Africa to help the team reach 489 all-out in their tour match against South Australia 11 on Thursday. Dean Edgar smashed 117, Faf du Plessis came in with 102, and Quinton de Kock 99. David Grant picked up 2 for 82, and Michael Cormack 2 for 104 for South Australia. The games continue on Friday. That's all the sporting highlights for now. Join us in the next one. Your weather forecast is next.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I am your presenter, Annie Lana Joseph. We start off this evening by taking a look at earlier satellite imagery, and what it showed is this area of convection associated with a trough system currently affecting the northern Lesser Antilles. Visible satellite imagery showed multi-layered clouds over Dominica throughout the course of the afternoon. Radar imagery indicated some scattered showers, mainly over the Leeward Islands. Conditions for tonight, fair to partly cloudy with some scattered showers. Tomorrow, fair to partly cloudy skies with some scattered showers, mainly during the early morning and late afternoon. Sea conditions, slight to moderate in open water with waves up to 5 feet. Taking a look at the extended forecast, a trough system is expected to continue to linger across the area, resulting in partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some scattered showers on Friday and Saturday. On Sunday, an increase in cloudiness with some scattered showers and possible thunderstorm activity can be expected with some improvement by afternoon. Across the region tomorrow, partly cloudy skies with scattered showers and possible thunderstorm activity mainly across the extreme southern portion. On the international scene, partly cloudy skies in New York, overcast skies in Miami, cloudy skies in London, some thunderstorm in Caracas, and clear skies in Beijing. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6 a.m. and set at 5:38 p.m. For up-to-date information, log on to our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for viewing and join us next time. Good night.
To end the news, a recap of the headlines. Dominica ranks among the top 4 tourist destinations in the world. Family and friends remember a 17-year-old whose life was snatched in an accident Wednesday night, and the first ever cohort of fire marshals graduate. Feel free to contact us at news@MarpinNews27thOct2k16. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Kenny Williams. To all viewers around the world, we thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.